Imagine a world where every sunset could be the last one you ever saw. For nearly all of human history, that was simply the truth. When the light drained away, the world became a different, hungrier place, and the fear it left behind still lives inside you tonight. This is the story of the oldest fear our species has ever known. Why darkness terrified our ancestors and why it still terrifies us. There's a reason we never truly outgrew it, and we'll get there. If stories like this fascinate you, subscribe. There's a new one every few days. Start with a simple fact about the human body that changes everything. We are creatures built almost entirely for the daylight. Our eyes are sharp, colorful, and detailed when the sun is up. But in darkness, those same eyes become almost useless. We have few of the rod cells that animals use to see at night. We can't dilate our way into the night like a cat can. So when the sun set, our ancestors went suddenly, dangerously blind. Now imagine the predators who did not share that weakness. Lions, leopards, hyenas, all hunted best in the dark. Their eyes drank in the moonlight while ours saw nothing. To them, a blind human at night was an easy meal. Fossils tell the story plainly, in tooth marks and crushed bone. Some early humans were dragged off and eaten in the night. One famous skull even bears the puncture marks of a leopard's fangs. The dark was not a feeling back then. It was a killer. So the humans who feared darkness behaved more carefully. They retreated, they hid, they stayed near the fire, and they lived long enough to have children who feared it too. The fearless ones, more often, simply did not survive the night. This is how fear becomes inheritance, not by teaching, but by survival. Across thousands of generations, the anxious instinct was written into us. The dark stopped being a place, it became a part of the mind. And here is where it gets stranger than mere predators. Because the dark does something peculiar to the human brain itself. When you cannot see, your mind refuses to sit still. It starts inventing things. It fills the empty black with threats. Psychologists call this our hyperactive threat detection system. It assumes the rustle in the bushes is a predator, because the cost of being wrong was always too high. A human who fled from a harmless shadow simply lost a moment. A human who ignored a real one lost their life. So evolution favored the jumpy, the cautious, the easily frightened. We are the descendants of the nervous ones, every single one of us. If this is already blowing your mind, take a second and hit like. Then came the discovery that changed our relationship with the night. Fire, the first weapon humans ever had against the dark. With fire, the blind night suddenly had a small circle of safety. Predators learned to fear that flickering, dangerous orange glow, but fire did more than push the darkness back a few feet. It rewired how humans lived together after sunset. By the flames, people talked, told stories, and stayed awake longer. The night became a time for myth, for memory, for meaning. And notice what those firelit stories were so often about. Monsters, spirits, demons that prowled beyond the light. We gave the darkness faces because the darkness had always hunted us. Almost every culture on Earth filled the night with creatures. Think of it. People separated by oceans, who never met, all imagined things in the dark that wanted to harm them. That is not coincidence. That is a shared inheritance speaking. The same old fear, wearing 1,000 different masks. This is why children fear the dark before anyone teaches them. No one explains predators to a frightened toddler at bedtime. The fear is already there, waiting, ancient, fully formed. It is older than the child, older than language itself, and the body still reacts as if the leopard were real. In darkness, your heart speeds up, your hearing sharpens, your skin prickles, you feel watched even when alone. That ancient alarm system is still wired directly into you. Now here is the twist that the modern world hides from us. We conquered the dark, we banished it with electricity. For the first time in our entire history, night holds no predators. And yet the fear refused to leave. Why? Because evolution is far slower than our inventions. A few thousand years of safety cannot erase 1,000,000 years of dread. Your brain still runs the old prehistoric software. To it, a dark hallway and a dark forest are the same. But maybe the fear was never really about predators at all. Maybe darkness frightens us because it erases the world. In the dark, the boundary between real and imagined disappears. And nothing terrifies the mind more than not knowing. This is the unresolved truth we promised you at the start. The dark itself was never the enemy. It was only the absence of sight, of safety, of certainty, of control. We fear the dark because it shows us how little we truly see. So tonight, when you reach for the light switch a little quickly, remember you are answering a call 1,000,000 years old, a whisper from ancestors who survived by being afraid. Their fear kept them alive, and it became you. Consider the simple act of sleep and how darkness shaped it. Our ancestors did not sleep the long, unbroken night we crave. Evidence suggests they slept in 2 shifts, waking in the deep dark. In that wakeful gap, someone always watched the shadows for danger. This vigilance had a name we still feel in our bones. The night demanded a guardian, and the group took turns. To fall asleep on watch was to gamble with everyone's lives. So even rest in the dark was never truly restful. Now think about sound, the sense that ruled the ancient night. When eyes failed, hearing became the last line of defense. A snapping twig could mean a stalking cat or nothing at all. Either way, the body answered before the mind could decide. This is why a sudden noise at night still jolts you. Your nervous system floods with chemicals meant for survival. Adrenaline, a racing pulse, muscles coiled to run or fight. It is the leopard's ghost, reaching across 1,000,000 years. But the dark didn't only threaten the body, it haunted the mind. In total blackness, the brain can produce images that aren't there. Stare into the dark long enough, and shapes begin to move. This is your visual system, desperate for input, inventing its own. Ancient people had no word for hallucination, only for spirits. What the brain conjured at night became gods, ghosts, and omens. The dark was the first canvas our imagination ever painted on, and those paintings, in a sense, are still hanging in our heads. There is also a clock inside you that the dark commands. As light fades, your body releases a hormone called melatonin. It slows you, dims you, prepares you to surrender to night. But surrender is exactly what a vulnerable animal cannot afford. So we evolved a strange tension, tired, yet too afraid to relax. That contradiction still plays out in millions of beds tonight. The exhaustion pulls you down, the ancient alarm holds you up. You lie there, half animal, half human, waiting for nothing. Now ask a stranger question. Why do we love scaring ourselves? Around fires, humans began telling stories designed to terrify. It seems mad to invite the very fear that once killed us. But fear, rehearsed safely, becomes a teacher instead of a threat. By imagining the worst, our ancestors prepared for it. The campfire horror story was, in truth, a survival lesson. And we still gather in glowing rooms to feel that old chill. The fire changed shape, but the ritual never truly ended. There's one more layer hidden in how we built our world. Notice how we light streets, hallways, and porches obsessively. We are still building circles of fire, just with different flames. Every light switch is a torch handed down from the caves. If this gave you a new way to see the night, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because here is the final thought to carry into the dark. The light we surround ourselves with is barely a flicker. And just beyond it, the oldest darkness is still waiting, patiently. So, which of these 2 stories do you watch next? Pick the one that pulls you in and tap it now.